For more information, call the number on your screen or visit www.camplegioneinjury.com. Power outages due to outdated...
Hey guys, welcome back to XCOM 2. We're on a mission here, rescuing an alien for our side. It's another muton. I have tons of mutons. And a sectoid frost necromancer.
Power goes out, your life goes on uninterrupted. It's not just...
That guy's really good. I like him.
Call or go online to request a free quote today.
Many probiotics don't survive digestion. That means whatever you're taking for your gut probably isn't getting where it needs to go. Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic is the two-form prebiotic and probiotic engineered to survive, bringing live bacteria all the way down to the colon toward a healthy digestive, skin, heart, and immune system.
There he is. Okay.
Get started today with Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic. Visit seed.com to order now. Ooh, fun! Yikes. The leaky refrigerator blew up. Is that bad? Oh, Dad! Of an AC fan motor. I can do that. But your future is bright with an American Home Shield warranty to protect your covered appliances and home systems. Are there bees behind me? My bees escaped. Phil, we talked about this. American Home Shield. Don't worry, bee warranty. It's a little pill with the big story to tell. I take one stay making giants. Stay star. As time went on, it was easy to see. I'm lowering my A1C. Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and or heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too. Serious side effects may include ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to some worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of infection in your legs or feet. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with the big story to tell. When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
This is about to happen now. We're just a few minutes away from the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, and the National Republican Congressional Committee Chair, Congressman Richard Hudson of North Carolina, in Mar-a-Lago, meeting with former President Donald Trump. Now, we knew that this was coming. We're told to expect this meeting at 1 p.m. Eastern Mar-a-Lago. Of course, this comes on the heels of the former president just last week going to the House and Senate to meet with Republicans. Fox has been told that they will talk about a potential governing agenda and the plan, since the GOP would like to take the House, the Senate, and of course the White House. What governing under Republicans would look like. There was 3 men today getting together in Mar-a-Lago. As news is made, we'll bring it to you right away.
As if you missed.
Now turning to this, New York Magazine is out with a hit piece mocking Republican women. It's their cover story, titled, "Are Republican Women Okay?" Now, as expected, the piece goes well below the belt, mocking the physical appearances of some women on the right, and then it tries to dig deep, scoffing at the intelligence of Republican women, referring to them as, quote, fractured, frenzied, and far less coherent than ever. It describes them as being in a, quote, perpetual state of confusion. And it even questions how Republican women are supposed to behave. Quote, on the cusp of an election season that could further reshape this democracy and women's place within it, the questions facing the women of the American right are tricky. Are they supposed to be cutthroat or cute? Cold enough to kill a dog, or warm enough to bake an apple pie? To whom is their devotion chiefly addressed? Country, husband, God, or Trump? Today, I found this piece incredibly difficult to make my way through, but I forced myself to read it in its entirety. And what struck me the most about it was how it insisted in shoving into a box and caricaturizing a group of women that it also demonized for allegedly doing the same to others. Yeah, you know, I was reading this and I thought, like you, these are 15 minutes of my life I can never get back. It was dripping with, and I'm going to use the word hatred. Hatred. I mean, I could never put together I don't know what it was, 10,000 word piece, whatever it was, 5,000 word piece, writing about how I essentially dislike millions of my fellow Americans. Look, if you're a woman on the left, if you're a Democratic woman, I respect you. You have different views than mine, but I'm not dripping with disdain for you. This woman goes so far as to say this: women fundamentally cannot lead a party that wants to oppress women. They cannot, in fact, even be fully human within it. So if you are pro-life, if you believe a woman is a woman, if you decide you support President Trump, as millions of women in this country have decided, you cannot be fully human within your party. I mean, don't go read this, please. You will never get those 10 minutes of your life back. What a horrible piece. And Harris, you know, to simplify, but still maintaining accuracy here, essentially it also posited not wanting porn in schools is bad. And being able to define a woman as a biological woman, that's bad. Calling Republicans cruel for doing so, but at the same time, it insulted the looks of, for example, the president's son's girlfriend. It went well below the belt, as we mentioned earlier, and it really targeted fundamental concepts that I don't see what's so bad about, for example, supporting a candidate. What's wrong with that?
It's self-hate. It's almost as though they're trying to tear down the women who are not like them to justify how they feel about women. And how sad is that? It's pathetic. I feel bad for them that their life has to consist of tearing others down who don't think like them.
No time to say.
But that's what this purely is to me. There's no celebration of women. You don't see in this piece them saying, well, look, if they didn't feel this way, then this is the tremendous utopia that they would inherit in a place where women are respected. So they didn't sell anything opposite of that I could read. It wasn't a celebration of what you or who you could be if you didn't think like that. It's just a tearing down because
Got it.
Right.
Excellent.
And Joey, you know, for a party that has characterized all criticisms of Kamala Harris's performance and policies as misogynistic or racist, the shocking criticisms that they levied, for example, Congresswoman Nancy Mace, a veteran, an esteemed servant of the public, and a pretty awesome woman, I don't get it. Why is it misogynistic if you address the policies of a Democrat, but for a Republican woman as a target, well, then all bets are off. You can follow her into a bathroom stall, and you can cut her down in a piece.
Yeah, you know, the one Taylor Greene's district is she creates her own PR, good and bad. You have Lauren Boebert, maybe Nancy Mace at times. But to focus on them and say this is what's wrong with Republican women is to ignore women like Mariannette Miller Meeks. You're talking about a physician, a veteran, someone who's a conservationist among the party in Congress, and she's all of 5 foot tall. All right, you're talking about overlooking someone like Joni Ernst, who's been ruled that way, and also very effective on Capitol Hill. Nikki Haley is arguably the most powerful woman in Republican politics, the only person on stage that gave Trump a rivalry in any state when it comes to the election, and I don't see her bending the knee to anyone right now. So it really is a caricature of a piece of work, and honestly one of the most sexist things I've seen.
That's right, and it really, I think, obliterates the diversity that the Republican Party holds and includes, which is women of every ilk, and every color, and every background, and every preference and style, and yet here this piece not only attempted to assassinate them all, but also to shove everyone into one gruesome box.
Right, I mean, the entire article, when you read one page, and then another page, and then another page,
Yeah.
it was one woman attacking women over and over and over and over. And it just made me feel sick. It feels just so wrong and so bad. But it's okay for women to have different views. It's okay for a woman to like her husband. It's okay for a woman to love God. It's okay for a woman to like Donald Trump, even if you don't. It's okay. That's what makes America beautiful. When I vote for issues, and I wrote down my list of issues. It's I want a closed border. I want low taxes. I want low gas prices, low grocery bills. I want low crime in our communities. I want to preserve Christian values. I want and freedom. You can love any God you want. You can be free to speak how you want. I'm proud of our military, our first responders, and our flag, and I support Israel.
Amen.
That's why I vote. Not because Nancy Mace said one thing one time in her life. That's right.
And that is why they cannot characterize amazing women like you, and like everyone in the Republican Party. They are all incredible. Keeping you guys, all right, coming up, Gen Z is so afraid of going on job interviews. Wait for it. They are bringing their moms and dads home.
Hold my hand!
Don't worry, we'll get to enjoy this. Seriously, please, they're playing great. Meanwhile, I'm all the green. All the green, I'm spending all three kids in college. It's in the kitchen, and we just remember the bathroom. Within power, I get all my financial questions answered, so I don't have to worry. You're like a guru now. Oh, here, Johnny, teams elite Americans and take control of your financial future with a real-time dashboard and real-live conversations. And power, what's next? Whether you're moving across town or across the country, you can count on Pods to deliver when we say we will, which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Book your move today at pods.com.
GA, the advanced form of dry age-related macular degeneration, can irreversibly damage your vision. It can progress faster than you think. When GA threatens your eyes, take a stand. Slow GA with Syfovre. Syfovre is an eye injection that is proven to slow damaging lesion growth over 2 years with increasing effect over time.
I've got eyes on an admin position.
It's the only FDA-approved treatment to slow GA in as few as 6 doses per year.
Don't take Syfovre if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye that may include pain and redness. Syfovre can cause serious side effects such as eye infection and retinal detachments, severe inflammation of vessels in the retina, which may result in severe vision loss, wet AMD, eye inflammation, and an increase in eye pressure. Most common side effects are eye discomfort, wet AMD, small specks floating in vision, and blood in the white of the eye. Tell your doctor right away if you have any side effects.
Every moment counts. Act now to slow GA with Syfovre. Ask your retina specialist about Syfovre.
Tonight, Trump Street and Showbiz comes America's back. Find out about Jesse Waters' prime time.
So I was able to lead thanks to the support of United Way, I'm able to achieve my dream as a doctor.
Hey, what was the question?
Let me guess. What round my global expertise?
The first White House press briefing says the viral moment where President Biden appeared to freeze again in public. We'll have live coverage of that coming up in our next hour, and our own reporters will be in that room. And is Gen Z becoming the most financially savvy generation? One TikTok influencer who helps young people with their finances will join us to weigh in on what those Americans are doing that's so unique. Plus, former Border Patrol Chief Rodney Scott joining us to react to the brand new live video of Chinese migrants flowing over our southern border. Come join Don Roberts and me live as America Reports kicks off a brand new week, top of the hour.
Well, their age range is 11 to 26, the Gen Zers. You just heard Sandra Smith talking about them, too. Well, the ones who are adults are going out job hunting, and they've decided they're not going in alone to that job interview. You're taking mom and dad? Yeah. One poll found 1 in 4 Gen Zers said they've actually brought their parents to a job interview. Lightning round, Kate.
Yeah, so I was intrigued by this LA Times writer who defended this. Okay, of course you can't bring your parents to a job interview. So I started reading it. He says they're anxious because of COVID learning loss. Well, who did that? What? They shut down schools. And I just said, when do we get to the point where he blames Donald Trump for this? And he got there. He blamed it on climate change and then said, we're all pretty distracted by the felon running for president. So once again, we can apparently blame Trump for all of this in the LA Times.
Wow, that's only a week old, though, the whole felon thing. Because even Biden's remembering to use it still. Joey?
Yeah, you know, I've got a 15-year-old sitting right off set here, and my goal and job in life is creating confidence in him and his abilities to go into a job interview, fail miserably, and walk away knowing he can go to the next one. That's our job as parents, and not to do it for them, but to teach them how to do it, fail at it, and do it correctly the next time.
Yeah.
I love that.
The author of this article is a professor, and they mentioned how it took weeks for them to get their students to make eye contact and talk to each other. This indeed is an epidemic. It's following not the pandemic, the way the pandemic was handled by the Democrat administration and by the Biden administration. And these children need to learn these skills. Otherwise, that generation will be devastated. And bringing parents to interviews is not the solution. They need help skills. You learn them from your parents. I blame the parents on this. If I told my mom and dad, drive me to my interview and walk in with me and help me with it and talk during the interview too. They said out of the in-person interviews, 37% mom and dad drove into the interview. 26% the parents sat in on the interview and the majority spoke in the interview. I would not hire anyone who came here with their mom and dad and sit in my office and let me interview them. My mom said autonomy is the most important thing you teach your kids. She was a school teacher. Teach them to stand on their own 2 feet. Yeah. And don't do everything for them and teach them independence. Yes. But one more thing. I've had moms and dads, I'm sure y'all do too, text me from my hometown and say, can my daughter come and shadow you for a day? Or can my daughter intern at Fox? I'm like, have your daughter write me. Right. Why are you writing me? Your child needs to do the work. That's right.
Wow. Ooh, I mean, tough love.
I mean,
right here and
Tired muscles and joints were keeping me from my family. Now I can be myself again. Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints.
Shop our expanded family of products at major online retailers.
I look back with great satisfaction on my 32 years on active duty. I understand the veteran mentality. These are people who have served, they've been in leadership positions, they're willing to put their life on the line if necessary, and they come to us and they say, I need some financial help at this point in time. They're not looking for a handout, they're looking for a little handout. My team at New Day USA is going to do everything we possibly can to make sure that veteran gets that one.
Call 1-844-980-2885. Veteran homeowners need cash? Call New Day USA.
I called and got $60,300.
You can take out $70,000 or more with a New Day 100 cash out loan. Call 1-844-980-2885.
Stay tuned to learn more about this limited time offer from Renewal by Anderson.
We all have that list of home improvement projects we need to do. And if replacing your home's windows and doors is on that list, you want to know that it's going to be affordable.
Excellent.
Thousands of customers who are on a budget. Expensive extended warranty to get good coverage? That's never the case with us. Our windows are so durable and our installers are so talented, unlike some other companies. Our warranties cover the windows and your budget this year.
For June 30th, buy one window, patio door, or entry door and get the next 40% off. That's 40% off with a minimum purchase of 4. Plus, save an extra $100 on your entire purchase with no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer ends June 30th. For a free appointment with Renewal by Anderson, call 1-800-704-4200. That's 1-800-704-4200.
I'm not a doctor. I'm not even in a doctor's office. I'm standing on the street talking to real people about their heart. How's your heart?
My heart's pretty good.
You sure?
I think so.
Driving a car, you have to check engine light. The heart doesn't have a check mark sign for the shoes. For both fingers, right on those pads. There you go. In 30 seconds, we're going to have medical grade EKG. There it is. Look.
With KardioMobile, you can take a medical grade EKG in just 30 seconds from anywhere. KardioMobile is proven to detect atrial fibrillation, one of the leading causes of stroke. And it's the only personal EKG that's FDA cleared to detect normal heart rate, bradycardia, and tachycardia.
How much do you think this device costs? $99. Wow.
Checking your heart anytime, anywhere has never been easier. Don't wait. Get KardioMobile today for just $79 at Kardia.com or Amazon.
Last but not least, 3 decades after the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, the Fox True Crime podcast is looking back with 5 brand new special episodes, The Crimes of O.J. Simpson, 30 years later. Guess what's hosted by Emily Compagno. Emily, tell us more. It was such an honor, and I learned so much to talk with these 5 individuals about the O.J. Simpson trial and, more importantly, the murders of 2 people, of Nicole Brown Simpson and of Ron Goldman. So first I spoke with Judge Janine. Of course, the incredible Judge Janine, she had great insight into the prosecution, into the use of DNA, into the difference between, for example, New York State at that time and prosecution procedures and whatnot in California at the time. Greg Jarrett, who he himself was a celebrity household name at the time in the form of media, covering the trial day in and day out. The executive director of the National Center for Victims of Crime, of whom the board, the sister of Ron Goldman, sits. And they really were so educating about the state of domestic violence victims. I also spoke with Michelle Tafoya, Sports World, the celebrity of OJ, and Kayla Kalin, who was referred to as the time branded the world's first reality TV star, when really he was a beautiful human who was caught in a terrible tragedy. You don't want to miss it, guys. Thank you so much. 5 episodes, the Fox True Crime podcast. Yes, Emily Compagno, you have to watch it. Absolutely fascinating. I'll be listening. Thank you. All right, thanks to everyone. Don't forget to DVR the show. We will see you tomorrow at noon, but for now, America Reports.
Kaylee, thank you so much. At any moment now, the White House press secretary will take questions from reporters for her very first on-camera briefing in nearly 3 weeks. And this moment is expected to come up.
So a video of that moment has since gone viral as it appears to show President Biden gazing into a Hollywood crowd moments before former President Obama steps in and then leads him off stage.
The White House disputed claims that Biden, quote, froze during the fundraiser, but is the administration doing enough to reassure voters about Biden's age and mental acuity?
Byron York says it's the issue that just won't go away. We're going to speak with him about that just ahead.
But first, the horrific death of a mother of 5 sparking outrage after authorities learned the suspect, now arrested and charged with her murder, was here in the United States illegally. Blog John Roberts in Washington, and Sandra, here we go again.
Good to be with you, John. I'm Sandra Smith in New York, and this is America Reports. The Maryland County Sheriff pointed to the White House's failed policies after finding out the 23-year-old suspect crossed the southern border illegally just last year. Police say it wasn't long until he attacked and killed Rachel Morin along a walking trail where her body was discovered back in August.
And the suspect is no stranger to police in El Salvador. He is wanted in the death of another young woman there and his ties to known gangs.
We'll get reaction from former Border Patrol Chief Rodney Scott to that in just moments. But first, let's kick things off with David Spunt. He's live in Washington for us. So, David, the suspect was arrested in Oklahoma?
Sandra, that's right. With the help of DNA evidence, the local Tulsa police, along with the FBI, made that arrest on Friday. Listen, Rachel Morin was just 37 years old. She had 5 kids. Last August, she was found dead along a popular outdoor running trail in Bel Air, Maryland, which is about 30 miles northeast of Baltimore on the way to the Delaware border. For almost a year, not a word about her killer. Her family lived with the pain of knowing someone that raped and murdered her was potentially walking the streets, maybe even ready to attack again, but no more. Police say they have their suspect. On Friday, authorities in Tulsa, Oklahoma, arrested Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez. He's 23 years old, and he's charged with Morin's rape and murder. He's from El Salvador. Fox News is told he crossed the border illegally into the U.S. in February 2023. Now, police say he killed a woman in El Salvador months before his escape to the United States. Police obtained a DNA match from home invasion in Los Angeles in March 2023.
Ooh, don't look good.
There's a surveillance video there where several people, including a young child, were
I don't like the mission.
Police are now saying he is that suspect.
Things seemed like really bleak and hopeless. The lead detective said to me, he said, patience will win in the end. And that's what they've been doing. They've been diligently working very hard.
Hernandez is expected to face extradition to Oklahoma. It takes several weeks if convicted. He'll have to spend the rest of his life in jail. We are waiting for that main operator to see during his past this week.
Watching for that. That's briefing is underway.
All right, Sandra, let's bring in Rodney Scott, former Border Patrol Chief and Senior Distinguished Fellow for Border Security and Defense Public Policy. Rodney, good to have you with us to kick us off Monday. So, Afghanistan entered the country illegally in February of 2023, 1 month after he allegedly murdered another young woman in El Salvador. And people at home have got to be wondering how did a guy like that slip through the cracks?
Yeah, thank you for having me on again. Crimes like this just, they infuriate me because they're preventable. He slips through the cracks because of the chaos on our southwest border now and the Biden administration's reversal of a 27-year strategy that really focused on preventing people from entering the United States until we really knew who they were, literally preventing crime. The Biden administration chose to switch to this reactive posture where they let everybody in and then we try to vet them later. And this guy's been wandering around for over a year. It also highlights the challenges we have with vetting. He had already committed this crime in El Salvador. However, we don't have a global database to be able to pull from. We're checking U.S. databases, so who knows how many more people like this are out there. But here's the catch. It's preventable. All border security is designed to prevent people from entering the United States until we've actually vetted them. This administration needs to get back to the basics.
So here's what Sheriff Jerry Gallo of Harford County said about this whole incident.
To my citizens here in Harford County, to every citizen in this country, that is a public safety crisis and one that we can so easily fix by really coming up with a workable immigration policy for our country. It's just insane that we would allow things like Rachel's murder to happen. And when I say allow it, we allowed it by letting him into this country unchallenged.
So DHS would have us believe, Rodney, that people who are paroled into this country, either waiting an asylum hearing or removal proceedings, are fully vetted, and we don't need to worry about it. Clearly, that's not the case.
That is not the case, and it's just short of a flat-out lie. So when they say fully vetted, that means fingerprints, and basically those fingerprints are bounced off of U.S. databases, records checks, criminal records here in the United States. But it's very misleading. There is no global criminal database that we're bouncing this information off of. Law enforcement, since the beginning of time, has actually done their best when it's a face-to-face interview. That's what real true vetting means, where we can actually look into their story, get online, research it, call the consulate, call the embassy, ask some questions. Border Patrol just don't have time for any of that. They're arresting about 4,000 to 5,000 people a day still, and that chaos just prevents true, actual vetting from taking place. This administration's lying to America, and it is preventable. I agree with the sheriff. border security is simple. Come through our front door, come through an orderly, slow process where we actually have a chance to really, truly vet you. It's
Well,
not simple.
Maryland's Governor Wes Moore is laying the blame for this squarely on Republicans. Listen to what he said.
When you have a coalition that is a bipartisan coalition of both Democrats and Republicans that get literally right up to the line to be able to get a deal done, that because you had President Trump who said this was not advantageous politically, that the deal was killed.
And he was talking about the immigration deal that was part of the Ukraine-Israel fund. That was in January and February of this year. This guy came into the country a year prior to that. So how in any way, shape, or form what Governor Wes Moore said could possibly be applied in this case?
Yeah, once again, he's wrong. He's talking about the Senate bill, and by the way, when they say bipartisan, that was one Republican. Yeah. Every border security expert I know fought against that bill. The House passed H.R. 2 earlier last year. That was a meaningful border security bill that would have actually helped prevent this from happening. But that Senate bill would have actually locked in a bunch of provisions that really would have still made sure this guy was probably loose. That's a very misleading statement.
So how many people are in this country awaiting either asylum hearings or deportation removal proceedings? Take a look at this graph. This is the way it has increased since fiscal year 2018. During the Trump administration, just over 2.6 million people. Well, we're in the backlog. That backlog is now 7,400,000 people. They're all walking around in the United States. Each ICE agent has 7,000 cases that they have to look at. It seems to me, Rodney, that that's just an impossible task.
It is an impossible task, and I really appreciate you highlighting that and how much worse it's getting. Let's look at some of the talking points from the left that, we want to help people that need asylum. We do. But those numbers you just saw, the vast majority of those are cases of fraud, and they're preventing us from actually getting to the people that really truly need asylum. They're preventing, because it's the same CBP officers, the same immigration personnel processing all these cases. We can't even get to the legitimate immigration petitions of people trying to come into this United States to actually fill jobs because this chaos is overwhelming us. We had solutions, not even just that last administration, prior administrations. We were getting better and better border security. We had this flow dramatically reduced where we've actually vet people much better than ever before. And the Biden administration simply walked away from it. And this is not sustainable. This is,
we got a Mac on the way.
You're talking about the 8 terrorists, whether you're talking about murderers, or whether you're talking about fentanyl pouring across. There's nothing good about this wide open border.
And you ought to know because you were in charge of the people, the men and women who are protecting us. So, former Border Patrol Chief Rodney Scott, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
For the governor of Maryland to say, this is all a result of the Republicans who killed this bill in the year. When this guy came in a year prior to that, it seemed to be so disingenuous.
It's just another shocking example of we don't know who is coming over the southern border. We're not keeping track of them once they're here. And we're going to have Bill Nugent up in the next hour. The live shot that he's been bringing us there this morning, noting the Chinese nationals flowing over the border. Last week, showing us Turkish immigrants, those coming from Egypt. I mean, the numbers are on the rise, even after that executive action on the part of the
3 days, not enough time.
We're certainly covering it, John, as it seems to only be getting worse.
Yeah, they don't have a big counter out there that says, ding, we hit 2,500. Nobody else is allowed in. So all these folks are flooding across the border, hoping to make it in under the wire. And those who come in above that number, it doesn't seem like much has happened to them either. So they get to stay at least for a while.
Yeah, we'll have a live report from the border coming up, John. Meanwhile, millions of Americans are bracing for a major heat wave later this week. Throughout the week, record high temperatures are possible across the eastern U.S., creating a high risk for heat-related illnesses. Fox Weather's Marissa Torres is joining us right now. Marissa, how high are these temperatures expected to get?
Hot. So, I mean, we'll use New York City as an example, but we're going to feel this heat from the Great Lakes through the Ohio River Valley into a place like the Big Apple. Now, it's not unprecedented, right? We get hot in New York City. In fact, last time we had a 100-degree day was back in 2012, about 16 years ago. But just back in 2021. That was our last June heat wave specifically. So we can get hot. The question for New York City, though, is how much will we be moderated by the ocean? We are expecting to be into the low 90s, with the heat really peaking on Thursday and then lasting into Saturday. But notice the direction of the wind. I-95 corridor, no matter how you spell it, is going to be quite warm. And when you factor in the humidity, I'll show you that in a moment. It's going to make it feel much worse. But D.C., Baltimore, Philly, up towards Hartford and Boston, this is extending very far, even into interior New England. We're going to be well into the 90s. You add in those dew points that are right around 70. So for perspective, a dew point is 70 degrees. That's something you would find typically in South Texas or Florida. Right now, New York City, the dew point's right in the mid-60s, so it's sticky, but it's not oppressively sticky. We're going to be creeping up as we head into the remainder of the week. So this is a look at the heat indices as we head in towards Friday. D.C. is going to feel like 100 degrees, and Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York will be getting close to that, and then all the way into areas of Hartford, Boston, and even into interior New England as you take it into, let's say, like Burlington, Vermont. It's going to be uncharacteristically hot. There's the giant dome of high pressure. Essentially, we're pushing that jet stream all the way to the north, all the way into Canada. So you talk about the heat that's going to be building. We're used to it. We've had it before in New York. But you talk about places further into New England that really have not dealt with this sort of heat, in some cases ever. And that's what we're going to be talking about with the heat indices specifically, is what I want you to pay attention to, where we're going to feel like the triple digits. Record challenging for sure. I mean, we're going to talk about temperatures that are challenging, long-standing records, but also maybe even blowing past it. So that's what will be the story through the week, into the weekend. A taste of the temperatures from Detroit to Chicago, all the way into
2 days, not enough time.
for some of the advisories, not just heat advisories, but also excessive heat watches that have already been issued. This will probably continue to change, and we'll watch it, Sandra. But either way, it's going to be hot, and folks need to be careful and find air conditioning.
Because those upstate New York areas, I can tell you, just aren't normally prepared for this. These are really hot, high temperatures. Thank you very much. We'll keep watching that throughout the week. And for more on this story and so much more, stream Fox Weather on your favorite connected TV device. Find us on foxweather.tv today. John, those temperatures are high, and they're unrelenting. I mean, you look at the forecast going out, everybody's got their 10-day forecast. They're sticking around for a while.
My daughter and I were at a lacrosse tournament in Raleigh, North Carolina over the weekend. They were playing on turf fields, which of course they got that ground rubber in between the blades of fake grass, and it's black, and it absorbs the heat. My daughter said that the entire team's feet were burning through the 5 games that they played.
I hope you had a great Father's Day. I know you were running around chasing the kids.
What I'll tell you is that Interstate 85 is a lovely piece of highway to drive on. Interstate 95, not so much. No, not a happy Father's Day. All right, another instance of President Biden appearing frozen, this time being led off stage by former President Obama. Byron York is up next on that. Why he says it's a Biden issue that will not go away.
I just got our rent renewal, and it's going up by $300 a month. Here's what you can do today if you're in a similar position and you're running with this astronomical cost of living.
Okay, so what's Gen Z doing about it? Are they suddenly becoming the most financially...
I didn't even like this one.
...ask a TikTok star who's working to make that the case?
Bored it. I didn't even like it.
True Max Protein with 30 grams of protein. Those who try become more energy in just 2 weeks. Sure, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein. 30 grams protein, 1 gram sugar, 25 vitamins and minerals, and a new fiber blend with a prebiotic.
You know what's crazy?
That this is better than cooking at home. I mean, more affordable than groceries.
Of course. Groceries are expensive.
I thought I was in trouble there for a second.
Oh, you are.
Innovation in healthcare means nothing if no one can afford it. At Evernorth, we're helping to unlock barriers. Using our 35-plus years of
Look at these shitty missions, man.
to save businesses billions while boosting medication adherence. Helping plan sponsors and their members eat their best. That's Wonder made possible. Evernorth Health Services.
In the furniture business, things move fast. ZipRecruiter helped us hire qualified candidates who keep up. We needed a project manager yesterday. We posted a job on ZipRecruiter and had our guy on site in 5 days. He was qualified in every way. They prepare to find the best candidates for all our jobs. They help us build our dream team. Did it fast. Is that too fast for you?
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try for free at ZipRecruiter.com/box.
Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904's $1 gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904 gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 700 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster that is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-777-9590. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-777-9590 to secure your 1904 $20 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. Don't wait. You must act fast. Call now. Tonight, Trump's VP shortlist. Who's America's pick?
Kevin Hart, Fox,
It's going to be Rubio.
Find out on Jesse Waters Primetime. With absorbing.
When it comes to drugs, college is too much. Kids. Drugs are out there. Well, feel free to say no around other kids. I didn't live drug-free when I was younger. And I admit that to my kids. Drugs worry me. But how can I feel free to talk about it with my kids?
Questions about drugs and kids? Call Fair Chat to get real-time support.
This is a very special place.
Let's save it. Alright guys, we'll catch you next time, alright?